It's movie time, and we're back again with movie time. Hey guys, how are you doing? Hopefully you had a wonderful, wonderful week, and we apologize for our not being on the air last week. Unfortunately, our guest had a major emergency and could not join us, and we were not able to broadcast at the time because the Skyping gods hated us as well. So, with me tonight is my two amazing co-hosts, and we have Olaf Barbosa. Hey Olaf, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's like just a wonderful, lovely day in the great state of Indiana.
Sweet.
And it's just doesn't get any better than.
And
That's it. It just doesn't get any better.
and today we had rain and a tree fall on itself in front of our street.
Oh, there you go.
Yay!
Whoa.
And we also
had excitement.
The excitement was awesome. And we also have our amazing co-host Arpo. Hey Arpo, how you doing?
Well, my day was going okay until Google decided they didn't want to cooperate with me and with you and with the show and.
Yep.
Evil Google, bad Google.
Yes, bad Google, bad Firefox.
Well, no, I was using my Google Chrome.
Yeah.
When I got here. I'm looking right now on my Firefox. This will be hysterical if I find all those messages you were sending me.
It's possible. Hey, I would not put it past it.
Nothing in spam. Social, one new. Okay, let's say that we're live right now. Yes, I know we're live. I'm here.
There you go.
Now, aren't you glad you got that email to let you know that you were live?
Yes, and that you're actually here.
Yes, because, otherwise I wouldn't know where I was. Where am I?
Who are we?
Remember me?
Yes. And so tonight we are having two very interesting topics, but we're going to start with our first topic, which is, I think, like something that actually hit me really, really when I saw a most recent article of the fact that when they did the movie Suicide Squad, they thought that the actress that they had, who has an amazing body herself in terms of that they felt that they needed to Photoshop her to be thinner for the final cut. And this brought a whole flood of what exactly do we look at? And this is the actress who played the Enchantress on there. She looks great the way she is. She is an actress and model, and for some reason they felt the need to have to Photoshop her thinner. And this brought up a very big point of, for the longest time in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry in general, it's been all about thinner. And wanted to talk a little bit about the whole entire thing of body image in the entertainment industry from a different point of view. Now,
okay,
what were your feelings when you saw that article on that? From that,
there wasn't really much thoughts in other than okay, she thought she needed to be thinner. It's like I didn't realize that she had been photoshopped because I didn't see the article to know it was on that movie, so I didn't know she had been photoshopped. I just thought that's the way she was, and then that article, I'm like, okay.
yeah.
So was she 5 pounds heavier or something? That he thought they needed to thin her down a little more? I'd say I don't know.
It's like, that is where the most unusual part of that is, because they thought that, I guess, that her body was not perfect enough for the screen. It's like you hire a performer for an actual part. You know exactly what the performer's body image is, and yet they felt the need to have to adjust her body image. And this happens also to guys as well as girls. So it's like,
right.
There are people who it's like, they build in abs when they don't have abs. It's like, what's wrong with the body that they are and showing a healthy body image?
Now I'm gonna do a little screen sharing here. Okay. Now let's start. This is over here. This is the actress. What's her name? Cara Delevingne.
Yes.
This is who played the sorceress.
The Enchantress.
And as you can see, she's in quite good health. Has
Yes.
a very shapely body. Not overly large. And this is her. Hang on.
I don't think I'm seeing the right screen. Cause
No?
no,
What
what
do you
I'm
see?
seeing, I see.
Kudo.
It's like a
Kubo.
You're seeing Kubo?
Yeah.
Ah!
yeah.
Bad me, evil me, stupid
Yeah, I'm
me.
seeing.
See,
I'm
even
seeing
Kubo
Kubo,
was
I'm like going-
photoshopped.
I thought you were making a funny because you're like on because it's
No. Stop sharing screens. Wait a minute. Share screens. Here we go. Okay, that's the screen I want to share. Now we'll start. Okay, now do you see her with the nice blonde hair and the good-looking body? Standing next to the kind of dorky-looking guy with the scab on his knee?
No, still see you.
Not yet.
It's not popped up yet.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, and it says click for sound. Valerian.
Yeah, that's okay. Hang on a second.
There we go.
That's it. Go back. Well, yeah, that was her right there. Okay, this is the picture.
There we go.
Now you got her.
She's got a healthy body image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that body image in terms of being a role model.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now, here is how they photoshopped her to be the Enchantress.
It's like
Is it just me or, she looks like a zombie Twiggy?
yes. Well, that's exactly what they chose to do with her image. It's like took her body image, which was a healthy body image, and because they wanted her thinner, they even they sculpted her abs, they sculpted her hips, all of this. It's like as though that for some reason that her image, that her actual body was not good enough for Hollywood.
Okay, and now let's look at how DC draws the character as compared to her.
Yes.
Once again, that's a very healthy body image as compared to what we have here.
Yeah, and her actual body image is closer to what DC drew than what Hollywood did.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which then begs the difference of also, it's like if you are hiring your talent and for example, you know what? Nobody is perfect in body image. It's like, it would be great if we all had, a size, in a body shape that would be a healthy body image shape. But you know what? People come in different shapes and sizes. And it doesn't mean that you should be Photoshop, and this is again just an opinion of that you shouldn't be Photoshopping body parts of people. It's like that would be like making somebody's breasts that much bigger, or making some guy's abs there if he doesn't have any. Yes, guess what? Guys do have love handles, and you know what? It's like you hired the actor for their talent, so they don't have a rock six-pack of abs. Does that mean that they are less talented because they don't have a rock hard six-pack of abs and didn't work out 9,000 times a day to get that body?
Actually, I don't have love handles. I have love luggage.
So you have the carry-on kind.
Yeah.
And for the viewers at home, please go ahead and also view all of those images of the actress, as well as also her as Enchantress, and also the DC images of Enchantress as well for from Suicide Squad. Because you'll find that that's a very interesting comparison. But you know what? This has also been going on since the dawn of time in Hollywood. Look at what they did with Judy Garland. They put her on a bunch of diet pills over the years because they kept calling her too fat. And then when she became that, then when she was the body image that they wanted, and then she had children, they wanted her slimmed up really super fast to go back out there and do another movie.
Absolutely.
So they put her on more, and this literally killed her. It's like the combination of all of this.
I got to show you this because this is something I came across by accident. This is diversity in Marvel, a superhero called Big Bertha.
Nice.
Normally, she looks like this, like a supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
When she converts to her superhero form, she becomes this. Now, to get back from her superhero form to her model form, can you say bulimia?
Yeah.
She vomits up all the fat to become a supermodel again. Now, what kind of image message is this sending? You know, never mind in movies. My God, the comics are supporting negative stereotypes now.
Yep. One of these days, they'll say that, you know, Superman's abs were not sufficient enough. We had to Photoshop them. It's like the Man of Steel can't have, at all, anything but steel abs.
Yeah.
So then the question comes into this from a point of view of, is Hollywood then more vain, or is the audience craving the images? Because audiences love seeing different, it's like from what I have had in terms of audiences, they don't mind different body types.
No.
It's like they're looking at it from a talent point of view. It's like when we've had this talk about it before. It's like when you see Melissa McCarthy, she has a healthy body image for an actress. Right. Is she a size 0? No. It's like, will she be a size 0? No. But you know what? She is one of the positive body images in Hollywood.
Yes. When she lost that weight, I mean, she is a beautiful woman now.
Yeah.
And that's not to say it's not just because she's thinner. It's because she's toned herself, she's styled herself a little bit, and she's wearing stuff that makes her look good. But, you know, no, she's not thin by any stretch of the imagination, but she's still a very good-looking woman.
She's a full figured gal, and you know she looks good for, you know, even it's like for being a full figured gal. I mean, wait a minute, that's not coming out right. It's not. She is an attractive woman.
Do I need to put the Big Bertha picture back up again?
No. she's an attractive woman as a full-figured gal, but
yes,
it's like, you know, but a lot of it is, in other words, her, and as far as acting talent, you know, she's amazing, you know, because she's done different, you know, I've seen her in different things, and she pulls off whatever she's doing. In other words, she makes it believable and good, you know, so talent-wise, she's great.
Yes.
And just like, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like, you know, she lost some weight, and if they wanted her to be bigger, would they Photoshop her and make her bigger again?
That would be the question. Because it's like, are we starting then, is a trend in the entertainment industry to start saying, it's like, okay, it's always been the fact that they would like somebody to be thinner, would like somebody to have a certain, shape, body image in terms of that. But it's like, not everybody comes in shapes, in the same shape and size. Why is it that, somebody, like I said, that actress who played the Enchantress, or Melissa McCarthy, is considered to be somebody who needs to be photoshopped that much thinner? Or it's like with Christian Bale, he starved himself for, what was that movie? And lost like about 40, 50 pounds. Same thing with Tom Hanks for Philadelphia.
Oh, Tom Hanks also in Castaway.
In Castaway, he also lost weight. Could you imagine if
okay, in that aspect of that movie, Castaway, him losing weight was not a image thing though, because in other words, I would say him losing weight for the movie Castaway makes sense because he would not have been eating. He was eating like fruits, vegetables, whatever he could, fruits or whatever he could find.
Yes.
And so he would lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But imagine if they said that
maybe they just didn't have the technology for that movie to do it with Photoshop. Because the point I was going to try to make was that that was a real health risk what he did, because he lost a lot of weight very, very quickly for that movie, and that's not healthy.
No.
Nope. And now here's the thing, is what would happen in terms of your opinion of if they did the same thing to him, that they said, you know what, thank you, Tom, for losing weight for this role, and stuff like that, still trying to keep to a at least somewhat healthy image, and you know what, you're just not thin enough, and they went ahead and they photoshopped into a very emaciated form. Would that be considered a healthy body image to portray in Hollywood? Even though, yes, the movie is for Castaway and that understanding that the environment that he's in, but say, for example, it wasn't for Castaway, it was for Sleepless in Seattle.
Well, no, that would just be silly because Meg Ryan would have nothing to do with him if he was emaciated. I mean, come on. Now, let's be a little realistic here.
But it goes to that same sense.
Well, but it's like, I would think, depending on the movie, like, of course, Castaway, if they photoshopped him, made him thinner, okay, that would make sense because of the movie.
Yes.
And then once he got back to, got off of the island, then they would, okay, you lost a bunch of weight, and now we don't have to Photoshop you even thinner than the weight loss you had, so you can be your normal weight and then start gaining weight again, because you're back eating regular food again. But say, like in numbers for the Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
No, that would not have been, if they'd have photoshopped him for that and made him thinner, that would not have been a good thing.
Yeah. And
it would not have been a good body image to portray. It's like, I can't remember the beginning of Sleepless in Seattle, but it's like, it's like, I know that sometimes when you have traumatic life events happen, and you suffer you go through a tough breakup, or of some sort, or losing a spouse, you go one way or the other. When that happens, you either go bigger or you get depressed and you go smaller because you're not eating.
Yeah.
So again, that could sort of fall into that movie. I guess it really depends on the movie, but yeah, that wouldn't have been a good thing for them to Photoshop him thinner for Sleepless in Seattle. I don't think it would have worked into the movie well.
Or because they do camera tricks for actors to make them look taller
Right.
With certain actors because for obvious reasons that they are not naturally tall people to begin with. Well,
Right.
looking at it from that image of it, when you are looking at it from that, it's like, is it a healthy image? Then it's like in terms of that, you're doing it for a specific purpose to make them look, to make the actor look taller, to make the actor look fitter. In terms of that, you're talking about somebody who, when you're looking at certain actors in Hollywood, they're already tall, they're already fit. What is the then? What is the ideal image that is starting to become? Is it starting to be that unless you're emaciated, you don't belong in Hollywood? Because they've been trying to look at that slowly in the modeling industry, and saying perhaps we need to revamp that image because a lot of models have gone anorexic, bulimic for that particular reason,
Right.
and have portrayed negative body images towards clients. Like for people who are actually seeing them in the industry in their positions. So what's our message that we were actually trying to send out in the entertainment industry? And look at, and again, that cartoon, that animation that you just showed.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I mean, even Twiggy doesn't do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And it's something that I wanted to make people aware of, because it's like, do you find that a healthy body image would turn you off of watching a movie? If somebody has a healthy body image, they're not a size 0, that they're a healthy weight and goal, would that turn you off from watching the movie?
That's not going to turn me off. Somebody who doesn't have a healthy body image is not going to turn me off. My God, respect to Kathy Bates. I mean, she proved body image, schmoddy image. She's doing a nude scene when she did about Schmidt.
Yeah.
And I had tremendous respect for her for that. Even though they played it for a laugh.
It was still done well.
It was still, body image doesn't matter. That was the message she was trying to send. And I've heard her in interviews saying, yes, she loved doing that scene because she wanted to show Hollywood, you don't have to be all skinny and sexy to do a nude scene. Anybody can do a nude scene.
Yes. Do you think that the images that they're trying to show when they're doing that is attainable then? Because what is the message that you think that they're sending out to younger people when they're watching somebody who's been photoshopped like that?
You know what? That's for one thing. That's why Suicide Squad should have been rated R. You don't need impressionable teenage girls seeing that look and thinking, that's how I'm supposed to look. I mean, that's why after 50 years they changed Barbie.
Yep. Isn't it interesting that Mattel manages to get a healthier image for Barbie after 50 years? And Marvel creates a comic that portrays an unhealthy body image.
Yeah.
That somebody has to be bulimic to be able to be what's considered normal.
Yeah. That's I know. I mean, I saw that and I said to myself, what were they thinking? No, I take it back. They weren't thinking.
Exactly. Now, does it bother you when you see a guy on camera that isn't a perfect, abs body? Do you sit there and say, oh my gosh, I don't want to see the movie now because his body is not rock hard?
Hey, as long as his body looks better than mine, and you know what? That's given him a lot of leeway.
Does it tend to bother you, Olaf, that if somebody does not, if somebody portrays a healthy body image as a male?
No, it doesn't. It's like if they have a healthy body image, it's like I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to have that body. Yeah, I had one like that about 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like going, I ain't gonna have that body again. So it's like, yeah, it'd be nice to look like that again, but no, it ain't gonna happen. So I don't worry about it.
So when does the critique actually stop then in terms of body image? Because, like I said, that what is the ultimate body image then that we are supposed to be attaining as a Hollywood image?
I don't know what the Hollywood image, but I'm going to say this right now. The ideal body image is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
Whatever is
Exactly.
the ideal body image for you is the ideal body image. You don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't have to be Sylvester Stallone. You know? You can be Chris Farley and still have a positive self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What I find interesting, though, most also is that on television, we allow for characters to gain and lose weight without much of a notice in this day and age. There are certain actors who it's like we still go, oh my gosh, when we see them. But there have been characters that it's like they portray a healthy body image as part of their character. And we allow that in television. Why don't we allow that? It's like, have we really gone to the archaic back in film? That because in television, this is now started to become an acceptable thing too, of healthier body images.
I feel like you're confusing terms a little bit here. What we're talking about is a positive self-esteem and body image.
Yep.
People think positive body image. They think the six-pack abs and the square shoulders and the muscular chin and all that.
Yep.
And there's not that much of that on television. Heck, even the action heroes, there's quite a few schlubs up there, but they have a positive self-esteem about their body image.
Yes.
And that's what I think Hollywood filmdom overlooks. In a movie, it seems like if you have a little too much weight on your body, you're, oh my God, you should just crawl under a rock and die. My God, you're ugly. You're ugly. Ugh.
Right.
Yep.
And that sickens me. That just sickens me.
And yet at the same time, it's like we've been getting healthy, like really good self-esteemed body images. It's like in terms of actors who once they come back, they don't have to bounce their baby weight back on television. And yet in the film industry, we still find that it's like, oh my gosh, you had a baby. Got to get right back to that fighting weight within like 10 mins. Or people go, oh my God, what the hell happened to this actress? Why'd they get so chunky?
Well, there's a particular show on TV, and I won't mention the show, but one of the actresses had a baby, and when they came back on, they had the baby weight, and and her chest. She had just had a baby, so her chest was a little bigger.
Yes.
And people were actually going, "Oh my God, did you see that?" And like going, "She just had a baby, and you're gonna
Bust her chops for that.
is busting out
Yeah.
because, they're gonna bust her chops because her bust is bigger." And like, really? And because she's gained a few pounds, that's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just it. I thought that was just that was just highly uncalled for.
Yeah. It's like she just had a child. What would you like her to do with her chest?
Yeah.
Strap it down?
Yeah, it's like they could. Well, I mean, they could have photoshopped her so that she didn't have, so she had the same size chest and same body look as when she was on previously. It was like there was they ended the season, and when they came back the next season, and she had the baby during the off season.
Yeah.
And then when she came back, she was, had baby weight, and it was like, I was like, oh, well, still got her baby weight. Oh, isn't that nice? It's kind of like, oh, it was like, oh, she still has the baby weight,
Yeah.
not like, oh my God, look at her.
Yeah. Like, what a heifer. She gained pounds.
Hey,
Yeah.
she can strap her chest down. If Maisie Williams can do it for 5 years, she can do it for 1 season. By golly.
Yeah. Because that was an
I always felt sorry for her. It's like when she finally was on Doctor Who for a few episodes, I mean, I swear to God, I sat there, I went, oh my God, she does have breasts. Okay.
Yeah.
About time.
But that was done for a specific, that was done for her for a specific role, in terms of that. It's like with Doctor.
Well, yeah, she's yeah. Well, on Game of Thrones, she when the series started, she was supposed to be 12, and by their timeline, she should only be about 13 and a half now.
Yeah.
And so that's why I understand that's why they have to keep her wrapped up. But it had to feel good to let them loose. That's all I'm saying.
To actually be her actual chest size, yes.
Yes.
See, because
I think she's 23, 24. I mean, my gosh.
I think so. Yeah, and it's like
I had to throw that in so people would think I was some kind of pervert,
No, but it is.
Yeah, you got to keep your reputation going there, right?
There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is where I've come in also in terms of male images on television. It's like we have people like Kevin James, who he is not a size 2 in terms of male body.
Yeah.
It's like, and they have Kevin Can Wait. And imagine, like, if they were to turn around and say to Kevin James, it's like, you know what, I am so sorry, but we can't have your show on any longer unless you lose 50 pounds. Or 100 pounds.
Why would he do that? He wears his weight well.
Yes.
He uses his body to full comedic effect.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't see the second one, which I heard really sucked, but the first Paul Blart Mall Cop movie, I was in tears. That I just thought that movie was so funny. And it was because of seeing this overweight guy basically trying to be Bruce Willis in this mall,
Yeah. I didn't have an opportunity to see that movie, but yes, it's like I have heard of it. And yeah. Again, but can you imagine if they photoshopped Kevin James's body, decided, you know what, he was just too fat for that movie.
Then it wouldn't have been funny.
Yes.
No. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been funny.
Now they did
because
this also. Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
not trying. I'm not trying to imply that fat is funny. Okay.
right? No. Yeah,
No.
it's just. I mean, he's a fair sized fella, and but he's very agile. I mean, he was in. It's like in the mall cop. It's like mall cop movies. It's like it's like mall cop. It's like one. The first one and the second one. He it's like he gets around good. I mean, he's very agile and stuff. Even it's like for his size, he's chasing everybody down and doing stuff, and he's doing just as much as somebody that would be a little thinner than him.
That would be
No,
physical
he
fit.
is. He's very athletic. I mean,
Right.
yes, he's overweight, but he's in shape.
Yes.
Yep. And it's interesting. Like these are people who, again, they portray a healthy image. Average male is not toned with like a 6-pack of abs. Women are not a size 2 in terms of that. It's like, as a matter of fact, they've said that the average woman is probably around a size 14, 16.
Yeah.
So I see no reason as to why there shouldn't be healthier body images portrayed. And guess what? Even if they do need to do a nude scene, oh my God, you see a you see a woman with a healthy body image who is out there doing a scene where they're showing their body.
Yeah.
Well, what about it's like okay if you go to one all right since you went that direction. It's like, what about Deuce Bigelow? I mean, there was the different women that as a gigolo he would go and spend time with and stuff, and there was the one lady that was rather large, and they showed her in a fairly it was a revealing it's like lingerie, and you saw rolls, and of course they take and turn it comedic by she lifting a roll and pulling a chicken out from underneath it or something. But I mean she was a very large woman, and I did it make it's like, was that I didn't take it as a any kind of a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like it was, and that nothing else that showed the differences of a lot of different women, because there was one that was really skinny, one that was like really tall, one that was really big, and that showed like different body types of women. And I don't know, I guess that movie kind of sort of I want to say made it like hey, it's okay to be 7 foot tall, or this, or on the plus side.
Yep.
So I guess that kind of celebrated. That's what I was looking for. That kind of celebrated the differences in women, in the different sizes, their different body shapes, different personalities, and everything else. So I guess that kind of, even though it was a gigolo movie, it did kind of celebrate the differences in women.
It did, and
in a good way, actually.
Yes. And did it turn you off of seeing that the movie if you would have known that the person that was in there was a person of a more substantial means?
No, wouldn't make any difference. I mean, in that movie, the way it was portrayed didn't make it. Just like really didn't, to me, it didn't make any difference. Where it's whether the person was well off or not well off or whatever. It was just, I thought it was a good movie.
Yep.
I thought it was funny. It was a good movie.
And it's like, again, it's that whole endowment thing. It's like the well-endowed gentleman. It's like, again, realities. Yes, people come in different shapes and sizes. And again, also, it's like, would it stop you from watching a movie with someone if the hero was not a perfect body image, if he did not have a full six pack?
No, because I'd actually be pulling more for that hero than I would for, the big muscular guy.
Yeah. And it was interesting because I don't know if anybody if you had seen Lethal Weapon, the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, whether critique or not critique of whether you liked Lethal Weapon or not, one of the things that was a very interesting comment that he had is that at first, when he was playing Murtaugh, he had decided that he was going to portray the character as being a little bit overweight because he had been out of commission for that long and was, not exactly in 100% fighting weight.
Well, yeah, the idea was he was just coming back from having had a heart attack, and yeah, he'd been off duty for a long time, and yeah, you do tend to gain a little weight when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
According to demographics of what the network said, no, you've got it's like you should show a healthier body image.
Mm.
I was like, okay.
Okay. I wondered why that show sucked. Now I know.
And
I'm sorry. We weren't critiquing. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's a different show. But yes, it's like, it comes down to I find that a very disturbing thing. It's like when he was like, well, it's like it just looked better on camera being at my own fighting weight and just pretending that, in terms of a heart condition. It's like, I'm sorry, people with a heart condition are not exactly in optimum shape.
Right.
It would ring more true to me as a person to look at it and say, oh, well, the person has been sick, therefore it's like, no, they would not be in optimum body shape. Would it make him less of an actor or the show less successful? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
I should. And it would actually be a little bit more realistic because the whole thing is, because my wife she didn't have a heart attack, but she had a triple bypass.
Yep.
Mm.
And it was months before they made her start going to the gym to start losing weight again.
Yeah.
Because you just can't do that right after heart surgery.
No.
Well, I had a heart attack and a heart issue, and I have 3 stents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not near as traumatic to everything as the bypass surgery, but because all they did was go in and it's like, I've got a good strong heart, just the plumbing sucks. So they had to shore up the plumbing a little bit. So I've got 3 stents. When I had the heart attack, I had a heart attack and I had 2 stents put in. Then a year later, I had a heart issue and had a 3rd stent put in. So
yeah,
and actually after the 2nd heart issue,
mm-hmm.
It was a little tougher. It was a little harder for me. I gained some weight after the 2nd one. I lost weight. Well, no, actually, after the 2nd one, I actually lost some weight and was doing pretty good. And then it's like then the weight I lost, I gained back, and I've had a hard time trying to get rid of it. And and I don't go to the gym and try to run it off and everything else to put more stress on everything. I try. It's like I do it by change of diet and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So then, seeing that being portrayed as a reality towards an image in the entertainment industry, you'd find it more actually encouraging for you that, hey, somebody understood the situation you were in.
Because there's having a heart attack and then maybe gaining a few pounds, gaining a little bit of weight afterwards, and not being as not having that rock hard body like you had before. It makes sense and it's more realistic because that happens because you're less after, for a little while after you've had the heart attack, you're not as active. I mean, I wasn't after the
Yeah.
after the first one. I wasn't as active because I'm like, wow, it's like when you go to do something, it's like it kind of wear out quick.
Yeah.
And you got to where I got to where I built back up to where I was able to almost do what I used to do. And then I got hit with a second one, so I'm still recovering from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the kinds of things that it's like. Again, it looks in terms of that of things that you would want to see portrayed, and when you're looking at an image for that, it's like that. It's more realistic that no, you would not be in amazing shape after that. You're not going to go and bench press, 500 pounds after a heart attack.
No.
Not by
Well, you
any
will
means.
if you're stupid, but otherwise, no.
It's like, well, you will if you want to just go right back into the hospital, you will, but not if you want to stay out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying in terms of that, it was a harsh criticism on their part of going, well, that just doesn't, that didn't look right. I actually was, when I saw it the first time and heard about it, that, he's going to portray Murtaugh, because it's like originally when Danny Glover played him, it's like in the movies of Lethal Weapon, he showed a healthy body image. He showed somebody who, especially he's like, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was interesting in the movies, his body image actually decayed. He started putting on a little bit of weight.
Yep.
And losing his breath more often. And it really, developed the character.
It did. And it felt more real in terms of...
Yeah. And when he said, I'm getting too old for this, you believed him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why it's like that, in that sense. It's like, again, actor for role, if you have to be an emaciated person in the role, is understandable. Because there are certain roles that do call for the person to be emaciated. But in terms of body image in Hollywood, it's like one of the things that I'm trying to get from this, and again, audience, feel free to chime in on this, is... would it turn you off to see more healthier body images and different people of different shapes that are not perfect? Would that make you stop watching a show?
It would me, because it just disgusts me. If they're not 100% perfect bodies, I just can't deal with it. I almost said that without laughing. Okay.
It's like, darn it.
Well, it's like I always say, it depends. You talk about the men or the women?
Both.
I don't care what the guys look like. It's like,
No. Yeah, right. No.
I don't care what the guys look like. We just talk about
what I want to see? You want to know what I see when I go to a movie, when I watch a TV show? I'm not looking at people's bodies. I want to see good acting.
Yep.
Right.
I want to know that the actor understands their role and has portrayed it well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to know that there's a great storyline that went along with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And great bodies help. Great bodies help it, but sometimes. But do they always have to be the great bodies? No.
Oh.
No.
If you saw a woman who had actual head curves, like I said, doing a sex scene, would it detract from that movie? Or would you sit there and say, okay, that person represents the average body?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, and a lot of that depends. It depends on how they bring it in. It's like it has some to do with the movie, and some to do with how they bring, like, a plus size plus size people into a sex scene. I won't say that it's just the women, but let's say it's a sex scene between a couple of plus size people.
Yeah.
It really it depends on how they bring that scene into the movie. Has a lot to do with it also.
Yes.
So,
Straightforward movie of like sex portrayal, like of a couple making love. Doesn't matter, couple irrelevant at this point. Men, women, two women, irrelevant.
right.
Yeah.
It's two people who do not have a perfect body image.
Right.
Does that make you not want to watch the movie?
No.
Do you point at first? Nope. You know what? They have a horrible, they just look horrid.
No, like I said, it's yeah, great bodies help, but again, they could have all perfect, 20 bodies in the film, but if the actors that they have in there can't act, doesn't matter how good they look, the movie's still gonna suck.
Yeah.
Because if the actors are not good, if they look good but don't have that much talent, or they can't, they're not versatile enough to play the character that they've been given, they can put on a performance that's just sucks.
Yes.
So
If you cast them because they look good in the sex scene that's 2 minutes of the movie, then you cast them for the wrong, pardon my language, fucking reason.
Yes.
right,
And they really should not have
Exactly.
been cast to begin with.
Yeah.
right,
And because, again, 99% of the movie, you're going to be having somebody with in terms of dialogue, action, any of those things. And they're going to be the stuff that you're going to want to see. The 2 seconds of the sex scene, or the oh my god they climbed into the shower scene, is not going to is not going to give you a wow, I did not get my money's worth. They had a couple of extra pounds. Wow, oh my goodness. They look like a regular human being. So what do you think is the fear that Hollywood has of portraying healthy body images in men and women?
the fear I think is not that, because the fear of portraying that. I think it's more of a fear of, if they don't, they feel they could be, and like I said, this is my opinion. Just my opinion is, they might feel that if they don't portray the really super lean, ripped people, that the audiences aren't going to like the movies because they're not full of, size 0 models and, guys that are, six packed up to, it's like crazy. So, it's more of them thinking people are not going to watch the movies if people don't look a certain way.
Yeah. So what is our takeaway in terms of this? It's like in the industry, who needs to actually change? Is it the actors, or is it the mindset of the audience, or is it the mindset of the people who are backing behind the film?
It's got to be the mindset.
Everybody.
Everybody to some extent, because there are some people in audiences that are going to say, well, no, I want to see the glamorous people on the screen, the people that I aspire to be, and don't realize that's actually a pretty unhealthy attitude to have. Number one.
Yes.
But also it's the fault of the studio. Thinking that this is all that people want to see. And okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'll give it to you that it is partly the actors too who feel like they have to maintain this image
Yeah.
in order to keep their jobs. And
Yes.
yet, a future guest, and I won't say any names,
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to have, has been in the business for 56 years, has 144 acting credits,
Yeah.
and is, you will agree, is far from the ideal body type.
Correct.
So there you go. Good acting will out.
Yeah. Will overrule any
Right.
imaging issues.
Yeah.
Which brings us also to something in terms of, like I said, when we talked about photoshopping, the editing process itself. The editing process, we will go more into this on Friday, on our Friday episode, for those you are really interested in this as well. Because one of the things that's fascinating is I watched an actual demonstration on trailer editing and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And, and the importance of the editing process. It's like, it's very important as filmmakers that we, and as entertainment people, it's like whether you do television, film, whatever the medium is, that you have a very good relationship with your editor. And making sure that copyright is not, it's like making sure that your editor understands the vision. Because your editor is one of the key people to being able to successfully create the look and feel of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have an amazing footage in the can, and if you have a horrible editor, the idea of it will mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And a good editor can save a bad movie.
Yes. Good editing always can save something that would have normally just been trash. So we'll talk about a little bit of the editor relationship and how soon you should be having your editor coming in as well on your projects. But in the meantime, it's like with regards to editing, it's like it was very fascinating to see this little demonstration on trailer editing. Trailer editing is actually its own art form in that sense. And it's like, according to that person, it is its own art form. I can see after seeing those that little demonstration why they consider it an art form and why it's highly in demand.
Oh, yeah. It's so important. I mean, the trailer is the number one method that a studio has of getting an audience to come to the theater to see their movie.
Yes.
Right.
Posters are a close second, but the trailer is the number one thing. If you don't have a good trailer, you can have the best poster in the world, and people aren't going to come.
Yep.
Right.
It's a visual medium.
Advertise.
Yep. And one of the most interesting things that I had seen in regards to the trailer editing is they talked about the pacing and numbers, and I was like, this is a really interesting little demo. And recently, somebody who we had spoken to had also talked about their trailer editing stuff, and there's various softwares that are out there for editing, including ones that are more popular than others. And it's preference for a lot of people. But having that relationship with your editor is also very key, because they should be seeing it. It's like every day you get your rushes in regards to that, and your rushes meaning as in the day before shooting, you get to see what you've shot the day before and what it looks like once it's been processed and in the can. Or digitized now onto a hard drive from the actual camera itself, so that you can see what it looks like. Editor gets the first opportunity at that point in time to start really cutting in the movie and seeing, like, what footage is, the footage that's usable, not usable, And it's really interesting to watch that process also of how they take all those hours of film and really how they mash it into one very interesting 30-second spot. Because one of the things that we're told on there during this demonstration is that the trailers pretty much tell you the whole story. Which brought an interesting question. Should the trailer actually tell you the whole story, or would you like some of it held back?
Don't tell me the whole story. Why am I going to go see the movie?
Well, it's a succinct version of going like, okay, I give you the arc of the story. Obviously, they're not giving you the ending. Nobody ever gives you the ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if they give too much of the movie away in the trailer, you hit the highlights and maybe like maybe two good action scenes in the trailer, and a hint of an idea of what the movie's about.
Yes.
But you don't want to be able to watch the trailer and go, oh well, it's like Johnny, it's like had a, it's like Freddie had a apple seed and he grew it, and Sally ate the apple and this or that, and get the whole movie in the 30-second trailer. Like Arpo said, why would I want to go see the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I sit through an hour? It's like a 60 to 90 minute film when you showed me 30 seconds of a trailer and I saw everything I needed to see about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I go watch it?
Or conversely, if you show me all the exposition, does that mean I can show up a half hour late now and I'll get a discounted ticket?
Maybe. But I found that a very interesting thing to say. It's like in terms of that it would portray, I understand that you're trying to portray the gist of the movie.
Yeah. You want people to know what the movie's about without giving away so much of it that people don't feel like they need to come see it now.
Yes. But it's like you
also I have actually seen previews where I was like, I don't need to go see it. Or I've seen the preview and I said, oh, I want to go see it. And then I go see the movie and I go, well, wait a minute. That's the climax. They showed a scene from that in the trailer, Wait a minute.
Yeah. Or all the best
don't
bits
show
were
the
in the
climax
trailer.
in the trailer.
Yeah. Or even better, all the best bits are in the trailer.
That's always my least favorite, but those are the marketing geniuses. The guys that can make the movie look like it's going to be so fantastic, and then you get to the movie and it's because they put all the good parts of the movie in the trailer and everything else sucks.
Yep.
No, yeah, there's been times I've saw you watch the trailer or like the 2-minute trailer and like going, oh, this looks like it's going to be really good, and like you say, you watch it and like, damn, all the good stuff was in the trailer. That I could have saved that 90 minutes.
And I got to see the trailer for free.
Right. I had to pay to see the movie, and I could have seen. I was thinking the trailer I could have watched the trailer 50 times and still save time and money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, it's like this is why trailer editing is a very huge in-demand art. It's the understanding what should and should not go inside a trailer.
Right.
And soon we will be talking to someone who is very within our series of filmmakers that are coming up and people behind the industry. We'll be talking to someone who actually deals with that in itself and the art of the trailer. So
that's one I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yes. Now, also, coming up in our Friday show, as I mentioned, we will be talking a little bit more about editors and the editor relationship. The editor-director relationship, the editor-producer relationship, and the editor-distributor relationship. Because they are very, very different, each and every one, in their own little creature. But also tonight, we did have a great talk on body image. Is there anything more that you guys want to cover with regards to that? Please let us know.
And no, I won't take off my shirt.
There you go. Nope. Sorry, we tried, folks. So
it's like yes, I think the middle-aged spread is a sexy look.
There you go.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm the sexiest man alive.
There you go. It's like, so, Arpo, it comes down to the question, how do they get you in social media?
Well, I don't know, because I've never tried to get me in social media. But you can get me Facebook, Richard Pochard. And do please check out the Real Discoveries with Arpo Facebook page as well. Love to get feedback on those things. You can reach me on LinkedIn, but please always remember, LinkedIn is for business, Facebook for socializing. I don't want pictures of your grandkids at LinkedIn. And you can reach me sometimes skulking in the Movies Underground forums. Mm-hmm. Or hey, you can join me on Skype, Rich Posh Productions. Just make sure you tell me you're a fan of Movietime, because I get too many wedding proposals from Armenian women.
Excellent. And Olaf, how do they get a hold of you in social media?
It's like, well, you can stalk me on both Facebook and Twitter at Olaf Barbosa, but just don't stalk too close, because I do get nervous, and I do have an itchy trigger finger.
Excellent.
You got me.
Yeah. And also, you can get me on LinkedIn, Bizopedia, Facebook, Twitter, at Movietime Indie, at Sonata Grayson. Also, you can get me on most social media sites on the YouTube channel here for Movietime as well. And as I said, now on Friday we will be talking about the art of the relationship between the editor and director, editor, actor, editor, distributor, as well as also we will be talking a little bit more about copyright. And look forward to, again, our announcement on our webinar series as well. So until then, have a great evening all.
Thanks for listening.
Skål!